This weather is going to look a lot different as we head into the month of March. If we expand the view on the North American map this morning, we can break down the details for you in the week ahead because we've got a significant system coming in. First and foremost, we've got a trough that's going to be digging in into the northeast. That's going to be dragging down some colder air. This is kind of a quicker shot of colder air for the weekend. But all eyes will be trending out west as we'll start to see the development of two strong systems that will be major players in the week ahead. We've got one off the west coast, and we got an even more amplified version diving in from the Aleutian Islands. These are the systems that will be traversing across the country and producing severe storms, snow, and some heavier flooding rains as we get into areas of Kentucky and western Tennessee. And a stronger system will be trailing behind that one that will also dive into the middle part of the country, and that could be even more significant with a widespread severe weather outbreak heading into Tuesday, and this continues during the day on Wednesday. So here's the surface map for later on this afternoon. Here is your blue line. This is your colder air coming down. That's like your 540 line. That's where the colder temperatures are. And just to the north of that, the snow is essentially basically in Canada. But we are going to get a glancing shot of some Arctic air heading into the weekend. But there's the surface low that will be off the west coast, and you can definitely see this is a much more amplified and stronger system, already down to a 962 low pressure center coming off the Aleutian Islands. That is going to be a significant storm for the days ahead for the United States as we trending towards Tuesday and Wednesday. So the setup going into the weekend looks like this. We've got these temperature anomalies surging with the west wind coming on off the west coast. That is a very warm wind out west, but the colder intrusion will be out east. And this is a glancing shot of colder air. This is going to last through the weekend and then kind of moderate as we get into early next week. But it's going to be a quick shot of colder air, and you can definitely going to be feeling it in a big way as we move into the month of March. This would be your Sunday, March the 2nd time frame, and all these areas are going to be waking up with the freeze heading into Sunday morning and across a good part of the north central plains, the upper Midwest, back through the Ohio Valley, getting back into the teens again, areas into Pennsylvania, even some single digit with a lot of snow up there into New England. But looking at some of that snow totals as we head over the next 72 hours, this is the forecast from the National Weather Service, and here's the chart on the right-hand corner of the screen here. And yeah, the upper peninsula of the Great Lakes are going to be seeing some good 6 to 8 inch snowfall totals. And especially as we head into upstate New York and getting north of there in the ski country, especially into Vermont, New Hampshire, back into Maine. Yeah, definitely some 6, 8, if not even some 12-inch totals between now and the next 72 hours. But here's the setup going to the weekend. So we'll be finally seeing this colder air kind of move out as we head into Sunday night into Monday. But we'll be watching the first significant setup, which is a shortwave that will be coming across the country. So there's an area of low pressure that's likely going to be developing in the Texas Panhandle, and out ahead of it, you've got the moisture return coming in from the south. And this has actually slowed down from yesterday, which is a little bit more concerning because it's going to be a little bit more amplified. That means it's going to be stronger than what we looked at just even yesterday. That makes the second system even stronger that will be trailing behind that one. So yeah, definitely concerning of what this trend that's definitely happening in the overall global guidance. So going into Sunday, we've got the first shortwave that will be highlighted over Texas, a good part of Oklahoma into Kansas with some showers and thunderstorms. Some indications they could likely turn severe into Oklahoma and even portions of North Texas. And then there's the more potent system that will be entering the West Coast. We've got heavier rain that will be trending into Oregon, into California, then snow in the higher elevations, and that trends into Nevada, into Utah, areas of Idaho, and that will continue to dive into the Rockies. But there's the system. This is your Colorado State University setup, and I think this is kind of day 4. This is day 4, which would be Sunday Right now, they're highlighting this area right now with the surface low up here in the Texas Panhandle. Some of these could actually turn severe. So I would not be ruling and out. The Storm Prediction Center go ahead and issues even a marginal, if not even a slight risk by the time we get to Sunday for Oklahoma and portions of North Texas with that stronger system and the slower system, because it's going to be tapping into some higher dew points coming in from South Texas and lifting into that atmosphere. So it does have some colder air aloft associated with it. So these could be some wind producers and some large hail producers getting into the heat of the afternoon. And there's the colder pocket of air. So there's the Sunday afternoon setup. There's the colder air coming in from the northeast into the Carolinas as well as in New England. But there's the little shot of colder air aloft right here with this surface low. And there's the warmer surge coming in and the moisture surge. That's why I feel like this would likely be upgraded to at least a marginal, if not a slight risk by the time it actually comes to fruition. But then the stronger system will be out west. And that's the more significant system that I'm kind of really getting concerned about at the moment. So going into Monday, we'll be following that short wave. So that short wave will be likely out of Oklahoma and going into East Texas by then, be trending into Louisiana as well as into Arkansas. And then there's the second system, look like, getting its act together, coming in off the West Coast. That is the system that will be diving through the Rockies and setting up a more significant storm with this trough ejection that's going to be coming out into the southern plains. You can see pretty significant here, and then we'll have a lot of lift out ahead of it, a lot of shear. So this could be a more potent, significant setup with another surface low likely developing a similar spot just north into the Oklahoma Panhandle. And out ahead of it, we could be looking at all three modes of severe storms with a significant outbreak potentially by the time we head into Tuesday, because we've got a lot of moisture returning by then. And this is Monday, this is going into Tuesday afternoon. We've got dew points surging almost into the 70 range, folks. That is significant, and it's lifting all the way into portions of North Texas, East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, getting into Arkansas. And usually the sweet spot's right around 55 to see some severe storms. And I think this will likely include portions of Missouri and even portions of Illinois by the time we actually get there. But right now, look the setup. This is your enhanced risk. This is a day 6. Little bit rare, especially for this early on of the season, for the Storm Prediction Center to already be so bullish with this system. And you can see the trend from yesterday. It has moved a little bit further west, and that is the slowing down of this system. And if it slows down even more, this will likely be trending even further west in the days ahead. But right now we do have that elevated enhanced risk for East Texas, into Louisiana, into Arkansas, into Mississippi. This will likely even be upgraded from there. This definitely looks like a high impact event heading into the southeast, and I'm getting really concerned with training thunderstorms and even some flooding potential. Western Tennessee, going into Kentucky with this system. They're already really saturated out there. Definitely concerned Tuesday and Wednesday with this system. And here's the wording from the Storm Prediction Center as of right now. And this is definitely concerning, talking about the 70 dew points from both ensembles of the GFS and the European. And then if we look further south, we had a lot more consistency in the guidance, and that's why they felt comfortable to go ahead and upgrade this far out. This is 6 days away, folks, and we're already talking about they're really honing in on that enhanced risk even already. And what's even more concerning is the mentioning of the wording of strong tornadoes on a day 6 outlook. Usually it's a little bit more broad brushed with day 6, but they're even this confident this far out that some of these could include some strong tornadoes. So that could be definitely an indication of a significant setup that's likely starting to come together. And with the slowing nature of this, I would not be ruling this out of trending a little bit further west. And there's going to be a stronger capping inversion out here in West Texas and portions of North Texas. But there's definitely, even right now, there's some indications where they could start to poke some holes in that cap after the 9 o'clock time frame on Monday night. So if that comes to fruition, they would definitely have to trend that, you know, westward direction out further into Texas and going into East Texas. So this is the setup right now, but a more significant potent trough going in the further off to the east. And that's why they felt, go ahead and, you know, comfortable to go ahead and issue that enhanced risk even this far out. And this would likely certainly be upgraded to a moderate risk by the time we get closer to this event. And definitely all three modes with significant signals even at this range to produce tornadoes, if not even strong tornadoes. So we're going to have a really potent system coming in from you know, out west with this trough that will be diving in across the plains. We'll have a surface low developing across the southern plains back into the north, you know, central plains, and to the northwest of there we'll have some heavier snows into the Rockies. Now, of course, out east, you'll be in the soupy air mass and the potent air mass with all three modes of severe storms. And the further north you get, I mean, you got a ton of water vapor to work with this system. And that's why I'm definitely concerned as these elevated extreme levels are feeding into western Tennessee as well as into Kentucky, aggravating those flooding concerns. And some of those ensembles are already hinting at 6 inches of rainfall on an ensemble, folks. Some definitely concerning setup. We could be looking at even some isolated double-digit totals of rainfall over those 2 days, with significant flooding potential likely could unfold. But we'll have the heavier snows that will be going into the Rockies. I think Denver gets some heavier snows by then, and that will trend into western areas of Kansas, into Nebraska, into the Dakotas. And I think this will likely bring some snow into Minnesota as well as into portions of Iowa. And then, of course, further south is all the severe storms. And it doesn't end there. That will continue to move off to the east. And even right now, this will be trending into the East Coast, into the Carolinas. And again, the Storm Prediction Center went ahead and in a day 7 outlook went ahead and included that slight risk already for Montgomery as well as into Jacksonville, as getting into Atlanta, as well as into South Carolina, North Carolina, and includes Virginia. Of course, this will be fine-tuned since this is so long out, but this just tells you what we're concerned about as we flip the calendar into March, heading into that first week of March. It definitely changes in a big way from what we saw in the month of February. But we do have, after that second system comes through on Wednesday, heading into Thursday, going into the early part of the weekend, we do have a stronger cold front. So this should at least clear the atmosphere out temporarily and start to cool things down, at least for a couple of days, and even some freezes back in the picture by then. So guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely hit the subscribe button and catch me next update. Wire protect you before and after the storm.